Ladies and gentlemen, it's time for punishing dumbass openings. This is an absolute stonker sent in by Andy Deco. I took one look at it and I thought, oh, this is just beautiful. So Andy's got the black pieces, and we'll follow along to have a think. First of all, we'll look at what is wrong, what is so offensively, deeply wrong with what white does, and then try and figure out what you would do with the black pieces in Andy's position. So white starts with the Saragossa opening, which is already worse. I mean, it's not like black has equalized. After this move, if black plays the best move pawn to e5, black is actually better by half a pawn already on move 1. Okay, now, what is wrong with this move? Well, yeah, we are kind of supporting pawn to d4, right? But it's not like anything's contesting that pawn right now. And why not pawn to c4, the English, right? Pawn to c4, you are then controlling 2 squares in your opponent's half of the board, right? Apart from anything else, pawn to c4 here, this knight can then come to its natural development square on c3. Right? So this is just wrong in so many ways. You are robbing the knight of its most natural developing square. It can't go there, it can't go there. The only square this knight can come to is there. Where it might, if black develops normally, it could even get eliminated by the dark squared bishop, causing you to have doubled and isolated a-pawns and having a generally worse game. So, Andy here plays pawn to d5 and has now equalized. Well done, Andy. We're all rooting for you, son. Okay, and now the best move here, best moves are knight to f3 and pawn to d4. Okay, these are the best moves from white. What do you think white does next? Not content with completely bollocksing up his first move, he decides to have another bite of the cherry and completely put his own arse in his own mouth on move 2. I don't need to go over why this is a bad move, because we've just said it on the queen side. The exact same applies to the king side. And also, by the way, I forgot even to mention this one. He's done nothing to release either bishop, right? The 2 pawns, well, there's 4 pawns that you can move at the start of the game that do not help your bishops to develop, right? And they are A, C, F, H, okay? Just look at it this way. This is a light squared bishop. It needs one of these light squared pawns at the start of the game to get the hell out of the way so that it can at least take part in the game. Now, it doesn't have to happen instantly, but it's not a bad idea. This pawn move, what does it release? Right? It doesn't do anything for this diagonal because that's a knight. Knights can't use diagonals, right? The only diagonal you've opened up points towards your own king, you muppet. Stop it. Anyway, I hope Andy punishes you. Okay, Andy plays knight to f6. This is fair enough. Andy's now in the ascendancy in this game. And now g4. Interesting approach from white, who I think must have been sniffing glue, you know, prior to this game, because what the hell is going on here? I don't know. I just don't know. Okay, now we have pawn to e5. So Andy's doing all the right things. He's controlling the center, right? So this is once. This knight controls that one twice. That's good. Okay. This knight can come out. So when your opponent is a dumbass, what you have to do is just go, okay, well, I'm going to remember my principles. I'm going to remember what I've learned. I'm going to occupy the center, develop my knights, my minor pieces, knights generally before bishops, and then I'm going to think about punishing your ass. Okay, now, pawn to e4. And if you spotted the eval, it has just taken a dive. Why has it just taken a dive? Well, notice that we have moved the f-pawn. Okay, now, I'm an f-pawn mover, right? I confess, my whole black repertoire is based on playing pawn to f5 at some point. Well, not all of it, but a lot of it. However, you've also moved the g-pawn, okay? So, Remember this diagonal, what we talked about? Remember, we had a conversation about it, yeah? Now, sometimes it's not so bad if you've got your pawn at home, your g-pawn at home, because there is a certain little bit of the board that you always have to be worried about if you move Freddy, okay? Pay attention, because this concerns you, in the words of... what's her name? It'll come to me. It'll come to me. In Kill Bill 2, isn't it? Who played Daryl Hannah. Oh my god. Great movie. Great movie. Great scene as well. Anyway, so here's the problem. You've moved the f-pawn. Right, so this diagonal is open and you can't shut the door again because you've just shoved Gary up there as well. Okay, now, please pause. There are two really, really good moves here for black. Andy played one of them. Can you figure out what either one is? Right, pause and take a moment if you need. Okay, the move that Andy played is knight takes e4. What the hey? What's going on here? Well, check it out. Check it out, right? The best move here for white is actually pawn to h4, making sure that the rook guards the h4 square. Why does the h4 square matter? Well, let's find out, shall we? F takes e4, and now it is negative 7.8 in black's favour. Why? Because of the move from hell. Queen to h4 check. Now, notice there's no g-pawn, because that moved forwards and then has captured the knight. Sorry, f-pawn. There's no g-pawn. Well, there is, but it's out of the picture. It's out of the game. So there is nothing. And the knight, by the way, cannot block check, and neither can the bishop on the king side. This is one of the big problems with queen to h4 when you're white, or queen to h5 check when you are black. I face this a lot, so I'm quite attuned to this, being a Freddy Krueger player. So you have to move the king. There's nothing that can block. King goes here, and now what happens, right? Notice that with either of these captures on this pawn or this pawn, if the pawn recaptures, okay, there's no pawn here guarding this or this. So bishop check. Well, in fact, I was going to say bishop takes. Yeah, bishop takes g4 is actually the strongest move because it basically skewers the king. That would force the knight really to block, okay? Andy doesn't play that. Andy plays queen takes, which is still winning, still -4, okay? King moves forward, not the best idea. Queen takes e4, right? So now Andy's actually won 3 pawns back already for his knight. He still has a strong centre, but more importantly, white has no development except for the king, which is now out in the middle of the board, getting kicked from one corner of the park to the other. Where's the king going to go? It's only got one square there. Okay, and now out flies the other bishop with check again. King comes to here. Okay. Now, what I would do, now when you're playing over the board, you can't do this. The king actually has no squares. Okay, because of this bishop, because of the queen, because of the queen, because of the bishop, right? The king has no squares. Queen f4 check now forces the king back once again. Remember, he can't come here, so he has to go to there. And then a final move of the game, queen f2, checkmate. Beautiful finish from Andy Deco. Absolutely lovely. Dumbass of the Year so far award goes to Psycho Fett from, where is that? Is that Malaysia? No, it's not Malaysia. Chile. Yeah, from Chile. Malaysia's like the US flag, isn't it? Yeah. But yeah, what an absolute disgrace of a game. I'm just going to quickly pull up the game review and have a sip of tea, because I think Andy did jolly well. For Andy's rated 1100, 1150. 11 accuracy. Ouch, that's got to hurt. Ah, that's got to hurt. And oh, Jesus on a stick. Andy is giving Andy a 1200 rating. I thought Andy did a bit better than that. But, oh my Lord, have you ever seen opening accuracy 39? Oh my Lord. Oh, sweet Jesus. And it's over in 10 moves. Okay. 3 inaccuracies from Andy. I'll flip the board over. Yeah, bring the queen out here. So from here, bishop takes is better because we're then covering both of these. The knight has to come to f3. And then, actually... So, it's actually just saying knight c6 to just, bring out more material. But can't you do this? Takes, and if takes, then queen h5. And don't you win the queen? No, it's saying d takes e4 check is even better. But hey, okay. So, yeah. All good. Knight f3 here. And then just keep piling on the pressure. But yeah, absolutely horrendous game. I would have given Andy more than 1,200 for that. I think that was absolute beauty. You must have felt very, very happy for yourself, particularly, though, with a brilliant move. A brilliant move. Knight takes e4. Now, slightly more accurate than that would be knight here. Let's just see how that one would have played out. And let's assume pawn takes, because that's the mood that we're in. Okay. Queen goes to here. Again, the knight can't block, the bishop can't block. There is, I think, only one legal move. I think there is. Yeah, king e2 is the only legal move. And then, now it's bishop takes g4 again. The only difference is we haven't taken this pawn, I guess. They block with the knight, so on and so forth. And again, it's just saying, yeah, just bring out your knight, just come in for the kill. No rush whatsoever. The knight's pinned, no one's going anywhere. And now you can just, shooting fish in a barrel, basically. But Andy, my friend, good job. Thank you for submitting. I'm sure we all enjoyed that very much indeed. Okay, thanks for watching, everyone. See you later.